Will this new wave of underground rap succeed? Nobody's talking about this, so I'm gonna. What's going on, y'all? It's Will Armani. Let's get right into the video. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram, Will Armani with 2 eyes. Make sure that you're subscribed so you got more content like this. Let's get started. First things first, we gotta talk about how the definition of underground has changed. And it has definitely changed in the last few years. Of course, in the last decade or two, but it's definitely changed within the last few years. And I think social media, TikTok, like we always talk about, has a lot to do with that. During my kind of youth of underground rap, which was 2016 to 2018's era of rap, the way that artists blew up in the underground was a lot different. I mean, it's always been, and right now still is, organic, but it was organic in a different way in the sense that I discovered Juice WRLD before Lucid Dreams existed on SoundCloud just from the algorithm recommending me one of his songs. That used to happen a lot more than it does today. And today, the way that underground artists have going up is from blog posts, it's from Twitter, popping off on TikTok. It's still underground, but underground has actually become more mainstream than it's ever been. And social media is always going to have everything to do with that. I just thought we should address the fact that the definition of what underground is changing and constantly evolving as we evolve in music. So who are some of these key players that we have in this new wave of underground rap? Who are some of the first challengers that we got? We got Ian, we got Netspin, Laser Dim, we got Osama-san. Some of these artists that are named have gone up faster than any other underground artist has gone up, and that's something that I really do want to highlight. The way that underground rappers go up now has actually been a lot easier in my opinion and a lot faster than it's ever been in the past. With TikTok, with social media, with all of these things that we have right now, these artists are going up in a different way, but a lot faster than other artists have ever been able to. Artists like Ian went up just from a few blog posts, from a few Twitter posts, and from a few cosigns. I mean, of course, you know, we got Yeat getting that Drake cosign, but I'm not even gonna say that that helped him as much of anything because Yeat kind of went up on his own in the underground, but it happened so fast. I mean, he's not maybe a current contender right now because I wouldn't consider Yeat underground anymore, but these artists that I just named all went up from a few simple things. Laser Dim blew up overnight just from showing up on Plaqueboy Max's live stream and making a song that just so happened to be kind of funny and kind of catchy. Artists are going up in a different way right now, and I think that this new wave of underground rap is so fun and so interesting to watch because new things are happening, not every day, every second of the day. We are getting new stories, we are getting new topics that are happening, new drama that's coming out. Things are happening a lot different than they used to, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that this new wave of underground rap is just so much fun. So let's dive even deeper. What sets these artists apart from their counterparts? What sets these artists apart from previous generations? And I think it's the fact that they have so much leverage over social media than past generations of underground rap have. Now, don't get me wrong, the 2016, 2017 artists definitely leveraging social media. I mean, X was going up on his own from social media alone and he was in prison, but at the exact same time, he was also able to leverage DJ Academics when he was first coming up off of his Complex podcast. Artists like Ski Mask the Slump God following alongside him, Juice WRLD, Lil Skies, they all did leverage music videos, YouTube, social media, but this generation is doing it in a different way. We're getting Ian being talked about all throughout Twitter, which makes his songs go up tremendously. We get artists like Laser Dim constantly hopping on people's streams, doing funny things and developing antics that makes people want to spend more time watching and seeing, I wonder what's gonna happen next with these artists. The way that these underground artists are able to leverage social media is such a cool thing that my generation of underground rap wasn't able to do in the same way, and I think that it actually helps more artists go up than ever before. Yes, artists are not surpassing and going into the mainstream as easily as they once were able to, but I also think that that's kind of a good thing because underground rap artists stay underground, but in a good way. In a good way where I mean they have more time to not only develop their styles and not just get handed record deals like they were back in 2021, but artists have more time to develop fan bases now, to really develop their sound and figure out what fits best for them. So this new wave of underground rap being able to leverage social media is one of the craziest biggest and best things to have ever happened to the genre. But kind of following off of what I said, I think a challenge that these new artists have is being able to enter the mainstream. And I think it's because not only are they being able to stay within the underground a little bit longer, but because of that, I think one of the biggest challenges is being able to propel themselves into the mainstream. And why is it such a challenge for them? I honestly think it is because although yes, they are underground artists, they are getting a lot more fame and a lot more recognition than underground artists used to be able to get. So with this, artists are kind of getting that funny itch of ego where it's like, okay, well, I'm giving you all of this, but you haven't really developed your sound yet. You haven't really developed yourself as a person yet sometimes. One of the biggest challenges, how do we get from underground to mainstream? And I think that this is gonna always be a challenge regardless of what generation these artists are coming up in. But it's a challenge to enter the mainstream because you need to have a sound that is appealing to a wider audience. And a lot of these underground artists, for example, Laser Dim said that he doesn't want to change up his beats. He wants to stay within the same beats. And we gotta have respect to him for that. We gotta respect that he stands on his own 2 feet. He doesn't want to change up. But with that, if we don't want to change up and we don't want to bend and fold for the mainstream, one of the caveats that's going to happen, you may not become a mainstream artist. And I think artists like Laser Dim are going to see this over time. Artists who aren't able to say, you know what, just because I want to appeal to a mainstream audience, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. Ian has been able to do this. Ian literally just put out a song with Lil Yachty. I actually think it's pretty good. He did this for a reason. Ian is making very, very strategic moves for a reason. It's because he's making sure that he does not stay underground. He's making sure that he can go from one stage to the next and enter the mainstream. It's happening. And it's one of those challenges that he's able to defeat, but I don't know if the rest of these underground rap artists currently are going to be able to do the same. So that leaves us with the last dying question. Will the future of these underground rap artists be successful? Will the future of these underground rap artists, will they be in our future? Are they going to succeed? Are they going to be able to continue this momentum? And I honestly don't even want to answer this question right away because we're just gonna have to see. I think the biggest problem with rap fans, underground rap pages, is that they don't give these artists enough time to develop and grow before they start slandering them, before they start hating on them, before they start saying that there's no way that they're gonna enter the mainstream because of this, and this reason. We can't say that because just like you, a artist, a human being can change how they're going to be, how they're going to interact within a moment. So although things usually end up playing out in a certain way, I don't want to right away say that these artists aren't going to be able to blow up. These artists aren't going to be able to enter the mainstream. We are going to have to see over the next year or two how much these artists are going to actually want to develop. How much is Laser Dim going to stand on his 2 feet with the opinion of not wanting to change beats? How much can an artist like Netspend, who I don't even think is 18 yet, how much can he develop in any short span of time? I mean, we may not talk about him anymore, but Tana, for example, went in a different direction and trajectory than Cash Dami did, where Cash Dami kind of went like this. Tana has been very slowly going in this direction, and we have to give him props for that. When he was only 14 for starting off, he is actually developing a lot as an artist. So I do think that there is definitely a positive trajectory for some of these artists. I think that it's possible for a lot of the artists of this new generation to blow up and pop off and enter the mainstream, but we're just gonna have to see. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you leave a thumbs up. Make sure that you're already subscribed so you don't miss out on any new content I got coming, because I'm really trying to cook up a lot more for y'all. Make sure you stay around. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram if you don't already, Will Armani with 2 eyes. That being said, stay positive. It's your boy.